Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, I'm going to react to scammers caught in the act. I mean, this should be an interesting one. People these days especially seem a lot more willing to do illegal stuff for money. I don't know, maybe it's the cost of living crisis that's going on, but people will do anything to get a buck, including scamming people, stealing stuff, you know, fraud. It's just incredibly annoying and just horrible to go through as the victim. So this video is going to be super satisfying to see these scammers getting caught red-handed. So let's do it.
Scamming is a multi-billion-dollar criminal industry. Most of these scammers operate within the shadows and try and be very stealthy, either behind a computer screen or using fake identities. But some scammers are less smart and do things out in the open. This can sometimes lead to them being caught on camera and arrested. Here are some scammers who were caught on camera trying to get money from their victims. But thankfully all of these scammers failed, were recorded, and some were even arrested. Chinese insurance scammer. Ever wondered why dash cams are so popular nowadays? They're most popular in countries such as Russia and China. That's because of the very high rates of insurance scams in those countries. It's incredible how brazen some of these scammers really are. What they do is pretend that they've been hit by you driving your car. They then try and extort money from you. They either simply ask you for some money there and then so that they go away and stop bothering you, or they get insurance companies involved and try and get a big payout. This happens so much in certain countries, it's led to everyone having to buy dash cam.
He was nowhere near you. Come on, you idiots.
An example of one of these scammers was caught one day in China. A man was driving through a very narrow street. That's when a woman walks out in front of his car and lays down in the road. She does this to pretend the driver hit her with his car. These scams are so common, people walk and drive past the woman. It's not even surprising to see this kind of thing happen on many Chinese roads.
Unreal.
The woman hopes the man will drive closer and honk his horn to make the scam more believable. She has no idea that his dash cam is recording the entire thing. She realizes that the man is caught onto her scam, so she gets up and charges at the man's car. She hits the man's car hood to try and make a dent. That way an insurance company may think that the man's vehicle struck the woman. The man reverses slowly as she does this.
If he didn't have a dash cam, he could have been in real trouble here.
She purposely falls over one more time and then gets up and strikes the vehicle again. Motorbikers simply drive past because this is simply so common in China. Eventually the woman gives up and the man calls the police. But the worrying part is, if the man did not have a dash cam, then he likely would have been blamed. It just goes to show that maybe it's a good idea to have a dash cam just in case. Insurance scam gang. Sometimes car insurance scammers aren't pedestrians. Sometimes insurance scammers are also driving cars. Take this dashcam video from Russia. A man is driving along as normal when a silver car cuts him off. He veers left into another lane, suspecting that they're simply bad drivers. But then the silver car enters his lane. At this point, it's clear they're trying to cause a small crash. The silver car slows down so that the man's tires scrape on their car. They then pull their car over and various men get out. Having many scammers is a common tactic. That's because it's more intimidating to their victim. The driver tries to drive off, but the men block the road. However, the 5 men have no idea that their scam has been caught on camera. The men get ready to try and get the man's insurance details. That way they can claim money from their insurance company.
Man, I could never drive in a country like that, honestly. Why can't people just be honest? Like, it's just so annoying.
But when the driver informs them that their scam has been caught on camera, the men instantly give up. They likely moved on to the next victim who did not have a dash cam and was not so lucky. Mixtape scam. If you go to many cities in the United States, people may try to sell you their mixtapes. A lot of the time, these are good, honest, up-and-coming musicians trying to sell their music. But in some areas, for example, New York City's Times Square, there are many scammers. In this video, a man offers a tourist a free CD. He signs it and says he does not charge any money for his music. But as soon as he gives the tourist the CD, he then asks for money for the CD. He says this is like a donation instead of actual payment. But of course, it's really the same thing. After the man asks for money, the tourist says he's fine and does not want the album. But the scam artist then says that he will need something for the album.
Thank you, Ken. We don't sell it, Ken. We just ask for a donation for the record, Ken. Thank you.
So you gave it away for free, and then you say you want a donation, and when the person says no, you insist on it. I mean, dude, what kind of...
It doesn't matter what you have, Ken.
I'm sorry.
No, I ordered...
He has various friends around him, which makes this more intimidating. A lot of the time, tourists simply cough up some money so the guy will leave them alone.
Mate.
At one point, the guy says, "Give me a small tip. After all, my guys are around."
Thanks, man.
Small tip, my guys is around.
I mean, I didn't want it.
Come right here. Ken, you gotta come here and you gotta give me a tip.
No.
I don't know about you, but
No.
to me that sounds pretty threatening. These mixtape scams are very common in New York. According to some, the man who filmed this was later doing a live stream in New York. That's when one of these CD hustlers stalked him and threatened the man. This video went viral on TikTok and YouTube, and some of the comments even said, "These guys are why I no longer go to New York." This is because it's a
Is that really a common thing? It's just such a... It's kind of pathetic, isn't it? Like, forcing someone to pay you for an album they didn't even want in the first place. It's like...
a very bad problem in some parts of the city and also in other parts of the USA. If you ever encounter one of these scammers, make sure not to be intimidated. Simply say you do not speak English and do not want their album. Wiper Scammer. This is yet another insurance scammer in China, but this one scammer has a very different method. Instead of laying in the road or jumping on the vehicle, the scammer flags down this female driver. She slows down and the man begins leaning on her hood.
What?
He also grabs her window wiper for good measure. This means that she can't reverse, otherwise her wiper will break. The man is not shy to show what he wants, holding up a banknote. In this situation, he's not trying to get insurance money. He simply wants the driver to give him some easy cash. The man seemed very relaxed, like he's having a normal conversation. But thankfully, the driver has seen this all before.
This is so
she shouts,
weird.
"Get off," and get lost at the man. After all, she is recording all of this on her dash cam.
This is so weird. Whoa!
The man even seems like he's enjoying himself trying to scam this woman. Eventually, he realizes that this woman is too stubborn to give him any money and fall for
Is this not one of the weirdest things you've seen?
his scam, and he thumps the car's hood in anger. This just goes to show that you should stand up to scammers. They're trying to get money as easily as possible, and if you make it too difficult, they will simply give up and move on to the next person. It's always a good idea though to have a dash cam just in case. If it wasn't for this woman's dash cam, if the man called the police, they would not know who to believe. However, scammers will often not call the police. That's because they do this as a job and are sometimes known to cops. Running start. This is a pretty funny scammer fail coming from a Chinese city. One morning,
China again. This is like the third or fourth one from China.
a man is driving down a busy road. That's when out of nowhere a woman runs up the road towards his car. She does not expect the man to slow down so quickly, but he does. It's quite funny how annoyed this woman visibly is. She
Whoa.
marches off as she realizes her scam has failed. Unfortunately for everyone else on the road, this means that she will move on to them. But luckily in China, more than 60% of people have dash cams in their cars. This means it likely will take a while for this woman to find a good victim to scam. Motorbike scammers. Scammers riding motorbikes and mopeds is very common in some countries. A man is driving down a quiet street one night. That's when two guys on a moped speed in front of him and then slow down. They then pretend to get rear-ended. The first guy hops off and his friend tells him to lay down. The shirtless moped driver then gets off his bike. He begins acting very poorly, pretending that he was rear-ended by the driver.
Man, people have no shame. No shame.
His friend lying on the floor seems very confused, like he doesn't really want to be there. Maybe this was his first time scamming. The moped duo were hoping for some free money, but after the driver alerted them that their entire scam had been caught on camera, they quickly moved on. Even if you're caught off guard by these scammers and don't have a dash cam, it may be worth saying that you do. They might believe you and simply move on to the next person. After all, many dash cams are rather small and scammers don't seem to ever notice them. Fake disability. This video comes from the city of Altai in China. He is a professional street beggar. But to gain more sympathy and money, he's got a good scam going. He pretends that he has lost both of his legs. He then moves around asking people for money on a board with wheels. He did this for a long time and was famous in the city. No one knew that his disability was fake until one day it was revealed in front of everyone. He had been riding the bus with someone earlier that day standing up normally. The same man from the bus later recognized him pretending to have a disability to get more money. Instead of just confronting him, he walked over and revealed the man in front of everyone. Using custom-made clothing, he was simply wrapping his legs.
Why doesn't he get up and walk away? Like, he's still maintaining the illusion.
Legs behind his back. Because the man's legs were wrapped up, he had no choice but to wheel himself away in shame. Hopefully he won't be returning to scam people in this city ever again. Thankfully, video of this went viral online, and now many people in China know to avoid this man and other such scammers. Fake homeless scams have been getting more and more popular all over the world. And I recently made an entire video all about that, so check it out if you haven't seen it already. But now it's time to make your voice heard. Comment below, which of these scams did you guys find the most—
It's just unfortunate that people make it so you can't trust or believe people or take them on face value anymore. You know, like if someone came to me and it looked like both of their legs had been, you know, amputated, I would just, if I had cash on me, I'd give them some. But now it's like, you know, unless you actually see, you know, where the legs have been amputated, it's like, can you even trust them? It's like, it's so unfortunate, but I guess people are really desperate right now. It's really hard out there. A lot of people are struggling. So I understand that, you know, some people may have no choice, I guess, but I don't know, is there always a choice? I think, do you have to do illegal stuff? Really, really thought-provoking. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.